Okay, so welcome back, Elaine, to the Zoom room for another Art of Letting Go live session. So as usual, let's have a look at our email for today, which is contains a quote. And some related teachings that will lead us nicely into our insert reading on what is creation and today's lesson. All right, so anyway. Okay, so I'm gonna just gonna share my screen. So let me know if you can see the screen. So if you can read that, quote to kick the session off.
Projection makes perception. The world you see is what you gave it, nothing more than that. But through it is no more than that. It is not less.
But though it is no.
Oh, but though it is no more than that, it is not less. Therefore, to you it is important. It is the witness to your state of mind, the outside picture of an inward condition. As a man thinketh, so does he perceive. Therefore, seek not to change the world, but choose to change your mind about the world.
Yeah, that's from the text, which simply reiterates the simple truth that to change anything for the better in the world, we must first change our minds about the world. It explains why. Because the world we perceive as outside of ourselves is a projection of our own subconscious minds. It's really a mirror. It shows us what's in the subconscious mind, of which we're mostly unaware. So understanding this truth will inevitably accelerate our spiritual awakening enormously because it empowers us to look within and make the darkness conscious. So understanding this truth um, helps us to uncover the darkness. And Carl Jung advises us to do exactly that in these two quotes that I've shared before. So if you can read those.
Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. What looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes.
Oh, so thoughts on that? Thoughts, comments, inspiration to come to you?
Well, basically, the truth comes from within. So if we look outside, then it's only just dreams and, well, a bit of a nightmare. But if you look inside, then this is when our awakened selves and true selves are revealed.
Mm. Yeah, so looking within is the answer. And when you look within, you're going to find things that aren't necessarily pretty and nice. And then that becomes the letting go work that you have to do.
Mm.
So by shining the light of your awareness onto something, it can't sustain. All right. So then the next quote from Carl Jung as well.
People will do anything, no matter how absurd, in order to avoid facing their own souls. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Interesting photograph.
Yeah. Well, so it's illustrative there of the things people do, no matter how absurd. So you'll paint your face and you'll make your. So I think it's a transgender,
Mm,
actor or something, and he's making himself up to be something that he's not. He's saying he's a woman and he's a man, and it's all a show. And it's like, well, all of this is a mask for your true self. I mean, if you actually look at it, it's like, well, how ridiculous. Why are you painting your face and making yourself up? I mean, can't you just be as you are?
mm,
It's absurd, really, but it passes in our insane world for normal and some kind of sanity
mm,
because it's accepted. Just being in various airports. So I was at Gatwick and then I flew via Addis Ababa. So I had 3 hours layover. And they're all the same, the duty free, and you go there, and it's this shiny, kind of glossy world. Like,
mm,
the appearance, this is what you've got to look like. So therefore, buy this, whatever it is, perfume or
mm,
cosmetics, and it's all part of this absurdity that you can somehow make yourself up. That's why it's called makeup. You can make yourself up to be something other than what you really are and
mm,
project an image of yourself into the world using these substances that you apply to your face. It's actually quite bizarre, really. You think about it.
mm,
That people, particularly women, but men do it as well. Obsessed by appearance, and you're going to make yourself up, put various substances on various body parts to make yourself look better by someone's standards, by society's standards. And most people buy into that. Don't even question it.
mm, mm,
And those who do are seen as, some just a bit kind of fringe and out there. I remember there was a girl when I was at university and she shaved her hair. She went back, well, I think she was into Buddhism. So she shaved her hair as Buddhist monks do and didn't wear makeup. And I actually really respected her. I thought, oh wow, okay, so she wants to do it. She's not concerned with what people think and
mm,
looking nice by social standards. She's just being herself, what she feels
mm,
called to do.
mm,
But the majority of people are very much programmed by the conditioned mind of the ego. That this is what you do and this is what you don't do, and these are your roles. And we buy into the condition because it keeps us away from pure formless awareness as perfect love, which is by definition unconditioned. Okay, so once we've made the darkness or the blocks to the awareness of love's presence, as Yeshua calls it in the introduction to the Course in Miracles text, when we make it darkness conscious, we can then choose to let them go. So to change our perception in this way, we must also change our core beliefs about ourselves, which is our own limited self-concept or ego, because our perceptions are a result of the emotions, thoughts, and beliefs that this self-concept produces. So that's illustrated quite well in this diagram, which was given to David Hoffmeister, a very well-known course teacher who's created a lot of big community, a lot of resources for people. And so this is just another resource visually demonstrating really what the course is saying. And so there you can see that it starts at the top with perception. Perception is a product of two things. The external stimuli, so that's the sensory data coming from the external world, which in turn is a product of your desire or prayer. So when you are desiring egoically, and that desire can look like fear, or it can look like out and out craving or addiction, then you are essentially buying into the ego's program. And so this diagram illustrates very well how this program works. At the very core level, you have the desire or the prayer of the heart. So do you want to be a separate self in the situation, or do you want to be one self? That's the question. So when we have a desire to be something that we're not, we then automatically project it out, and that tends to manifest into our experience on the top level domain of perception. And then the other component of perception is not just the sensory data, it's the belief and thought and emotion underlie that. So the belief and the thought and emotional construct through which you then perceive. So they underlie every sense perception, and you interpret the raw data of your sense perceptions through the construct of your mind. So your mind is not independent of any of it. You're caught up in a cycle. Okay, so any thoughts on that diagram? We've looked at it before, but it's a good one.
That's
Just
good.
remind yourself of the levels, and that this is what you're dealing with. This is a visual representation of what the course is, which is very helpful. So yeah, she's given us diagrams as well. Yeah. So you can do the instrument for peace worksheet if you want. So download it here. At any point, if you feel troubled, if you feel like just an ordinary breath break or something isn't working, might take you 20 minutes or half an hour of serious work, work to do it, but it's worthwhile. You've been through the process, so you know that.
Mm.
Okay, so this process of changing your mind called the Course in Miracles, and this fundamental change of mind usually leads to miraculous effects on the level of behavior and form outcomes. Um, so just a little recap of the integral model I want to go through. So um, the internal change of mind leads to miraculous effects on the level of behavior and these form outcomes because our beliefs create our perceptions or experience of reality, quote, reality in this world. And then these are reflected back to us through our true perception. And that confirms that these beliefs are true. So it's a closed loop. We have this belief that we separate. That's the desire of the ego that then manifests certain circumstances on the outside. And you then perceive them as real through the same thought system. So underpinning your belief, thoughts, and emotions is the same thought system that projects them out. So you get caught up in this closed loop cycle endlessly until something comes to break, set you free, and that something. So there's the four quadrants to help you to understand and visualize this connection better. So, yeah, so the four quadrants are individual and collective on the y-axis and interior and exterior on the x-axis. Where they intersect, you get a certain personality types based on the Myers-Briggs idea, personality profiling. Um, so the upper left is interior individual. That's the domain of your intentions, experiences, intrapersonal. So what's going on within you, your subjective experience of life, which no one can really say, if you're wrong, you shouldn't have that experience. It's your own experience, but you can direct it in certain ways. And on the level of form, you now have a body, a physiology, behavior, and you can act, you can do things and say things. And then you've got so the upper right quadrant over here is the domain of the body, behavior, anything that you identify as you. And then you've got the other quadrants, which are the bottom ones, which are collective. So that the collective we, that's all about interpersonal. So we form groups and clubs and societies, whatever. We share a we, and that makes whatever we share makes us we. If you have no commonality in your mind with someone else, you can't call them we, can you?
Mm-hmm.
That's the name. Then the systems. Then the systems just reflect the culture is the interior collective, but they also reflect every model has influences from all the others. So also reflects that those other influences. You really need to see the bigger picture. To see the bigger picture, you need to see all four quadrants clearly. Okay, so any questions on that?
That's good. That's good. Yeah. I was going to listen to that video there, but I just didn't get a chance, so I'll have a look later today.
Yeah, it's a good one. Give you a bit of a, because I refer to the integral model quite often. So I'll give you a bit of a deeper understanding
Mm-hmm.
of these
Yeah,
four
I'll
quadrants.
have to listen to that. Yeah, I'm interested.
Mm. Because there's actually quite a lot to the model. What I've given you is a very simple summary.
Oh,
Lines, levels,
sorry, I
states,
need
types.
to take this call. Can I just take this call? It's Social Security.
All right. Okay.
Hello.
Okay, so that brings us to the lesson, the live session today. So let's have a look at the insert, shall we? Today's lesson is all things I think I see, ideas. Everything I think I see reflects ideas. So let's go down to the insert. Okay, so we're going to do insert on what is creation, answers that question, just to remind us of the truth again, set us up nicely for the lesson. So what is creation? Creation is the extension of perfect love and the totality of its awareness. Infinite and everywhere, all illness. Perfect love creates or extends and only like itself. There was no time. No time when all that extends was not there. Nor will there be a time when anything that it extends suffers any loss. Perfect love's awareness is eternally the same. Unchanged throughout time and after time is over. I'll read that from the top again. Creation is the extension of perfect love and the totality of its awareness, infinite and everywhere without any limit. Elaine, you back?
Yeah, I'm back. It was a very important call.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Where are we? Starting from the top?
Yeah, just start from the top. Read it in the original and the alternative.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, okay. Creation is the sum of all God's thoughts in number infinite and everywhere without all limit. Creation is the extension of perfect love and the totality of its awareness, infinite and everywhere without any limit. Oh, so sorry, it's now the salon's rang me. Very sorry.
Okay. Do you need to take it all now? Or?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what he's saying in this one is only perfect love creates or extends. It's always been there and always will be there. There'll be a time when anything that extends suffers any loss. Perfect love's awareness is eternally the same, unchanged throughout time after time is over. So the same unchanging awareness, that's the simple truth that we have to keep reminding ourselves of, an illusion that's dedicated to change. Time and space just enact that seeming constant change. Okay, so number 2, God's thoughts.
Sorry about that.
Okay. If you want to just put your phone on mute then.
Yeah, but as it happens, it was very important that this call because it was to do with Social Security, so I couldn't have put it on mute. So, but you're fine now. It's getting sorted. So, unfortunately, it was one of those calls that was needed to be answered. Right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so let's go back to number 1. So
I'd read, so I was up to number
start
2.
again.
Oh, start again. Shall I just go in the alternative or not? Which do you prefer?
I think there's a bit to translate there, so just do the
Okay,
God's
then.
thoughts. I want to make the point of what God's thoughts are.
Okay, then. Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Creation is the sum of all God's thoughts in number infinite and everywhere without all limit. Creation is the extension of perfect love and the totality of its awareness, infinite and everywhere without any limit. Only love creates and only like itself. Only perfect love creates or extends and only like itself. There was no time when all that it created was not there. There was no time when all that it extends was not there. Nor will there be a time when anything that is it created suffers any loss. Nor will there be a time when anything that it extends suffers any loss. Forever and forever are God's thoughts exactly as they were and as they are, unchanged through time and after time is done. Perfect love's awareness is eternally the same, unchanged throughout time and after time is over. From the top, creation is the extension of perfect love and the totality of its awareness, infinite and everywhere without any limit. Only perfect love creates or extends, and only like itself. There was no time when all that it extends was not there. Nor will there be a time when anything that it extends suffers any loss. Perfect love's awareness is eternally the same, unchanged throughout time and after time is over.
Well, so what's he saying in this one? Summary?
Creation is the extension of perfect love and the totality of awareness. It's infinite, it's everywhere. It creates and extends like itself, unchangeable, and it's eternal. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, always been there. Always the same. Okay. So next one, paragraph 2.
Two.
Just a point in number 1. So God's thoughts I translated as the totality of its awareness, totality of love's awareness. Because it's not like the kind of thoughts we think about in our ego minds. Or there's this thought about this person or this subject and or about the past or about the future. And they seem to be very specific, discrete ideas, thoughts. God's thoughts are not like that. God's thoughts are simply pure, formless awareness. So that's why we translate thoughts as awareness. Okay, so number 2.
Right. God's thoughts are given all the power that their own creator has. Perfect love's awareness is given all the power that its own source has. For he would add to love by its extension. For it adds to love by its extension. Thus his Son shares in creation and must therefore share in power to create. And so its extension shares in this extension and must therefore share in power to extend. What God has willed to be forever one will be one when time is over and will not be changed throughout the course of time, remaining as it was before thought of time began. What pure formless awareness of perfect love intends to be forever one will still be one when time is over and will not be changed throughout the course of time, remaining as it was before the thought of time began.
Okay. From
Well,
the top.
perfect love's awareness is given all the power that its own source has. or it adds to love by its extension. And so extension shares in this extension and must therefore share in power to extend. What pure formless awareness of perfect love intends to be forever one will still be one when time is over and will not be changed throughout the course of time, remaining as it was before the thought of time began. So the perfect love's awareness has all the power of its own source, which it can, extend. So it's always going to be one, and throughout all of time, and before any thoughts began. So it's just eternal and formless love and forever. And never be changed.
Forever and ever. Eternally, in other words. And so it doesn't matter what happens in time. If you look at this diagram, it's quite a good illustration of that. Let's go to the timeline of consciousness. And if you see the timeline, demonstrates it quite well. So it really doesn't matter what seems to happen in time between birth and death and various experiences, traumatic or otherwise, that seem to happen. Eternity remains. This awareness remains always there above the battleground of this world. And so our job is to raise our awareness up into that state, no matter what seems to happen on the level of form, to trigger us to go down to our egos. That makes sense. So this eternal source has always been there, irrespective of whatever's happening on the timeline. But if you get caught up too much in the timeline, then you lose touch with the source and it gets covered over. That's the veil of illusion, covered over by time and space and all the events that seem to happen in time and space. The content of your life obscures, in other words, the essence of your life. And you become identified with that content and that person who's seemingly living out that dream life. Okay, so any other thoughts on number 2?
That's clear.
Pretty straightforward. It's always there. The idea, we've discussed this before, but in the perennial philosophy teachings, that the truth is always there. It has always been there and always will be there, and it never wavers, it never varies. And that's the rock, that's the foundation of the whole teaching, is that unchanging nature of this awareness. All right. So moving on to number 3 then, creation is the opposite of all illusions.
Creation is the opposite. Creation is the opposite of all illusions, for creation is the truth. Being is the opposite of all illusions, and being is the truth. Creation is the Holy Son of God, for in creation is his will, complete in every aspect, making every part container of the whole. Extension of being is the pure formless awareness of aware extension of perfect love, for in being its awareness is complete in every aspect, making every part container of the whole. Its oneness is forever guaranteed, inviolate, forever held within his holy will, beyond all possibility of harm, of separation, imperfection, and of any spot upon its sinlessness. Its oneness is forever guaranteed to be perfect and eternally held within its pure formless awareness, beyond all possibility of harm, separation, imperfection, and any blemish on its innocence.
Okay, and then from the top in the alternative.
Being is the opposite of all illusions, for being is the truth. Extension of being is the pure formless awareness, pure formless aware extension of perfect love. For in being, its awareness is complete in every aspect, making every part container of the whole. Its
So
oneness
that's
is
pure formlessly aware, pure formlessly aware extension
yeah, no, I keep
of
going
perfect.
into autopilot there. Pure formless aware extension rather than pure formlessly aware.
Formlessly
Yeah,
aware, yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
Where
So
was I?
it's just a state where there's no form anymore. All form has dropped away, but there's an awareness
Mm-hmm.
still that you are. There's some awareness still going on, but form drops away, and that would be called a revelatory experience,
Yeah.
which is unusual, but it does happen.
Where was I?
Okay. Any other thoughts on number three?
No, it's very clear that being, when you take the human out of the equation, it's very peaceful.
Yeah. Our
Pure
job
form
is to use
awareness.
the relationships
Mm-hmm.
and use the relationships to transcend, any disturbance. They become the way that we learn to let go of the disturbance.
Yeah, all the tests and trials. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, which are necessary to trigger the ego to arise so that you can then see it and let it go.
yeah. But it is
Okay, so it's
interesting because
pointing.
once upon a time I would have sort of been sort of like angry with this person, that person, the garage owner. But now I know that's part of me. That's something that's needing to be coming up in me. So it's quite interesting at how I have had a shift there, because once upon a time I would have been don't like her, da da da. But now I can
Yeah,
see that is actually being brought up. That's actually in me to actually be seeing that. So that's interesting.
yeah. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You do start to become much more aware,
Mm-hmm.
and you become aware of your judgments.
Yeah,
So
and
if
it's
if you
not
if you
nice.
do judge, you become aware of it, and you go, "Oh, that wasn't nice,"
Yeah,
and
but
then
yeah,
you can correct it. Doesn't mean you're never going to make errors, but it
yeah,
means
yeah,
that you're aware enough to correct them quickly. You catch
yeah,
them, and you go, "No, I'm not comfortable with that." Okay, well then I can take corrective action by letting it go. If I need to say something or do something, then I can do that. You
yeah.
can't correct it as long as you're denying the truth.
It's bringing it up.
No
Yeah,
correction possible if you deny it.
yeah, because I'm still, because I know my sister rang me yesterday and she's very, very materialistic, and her and her husband have bought a brand new BMW, and just the way she talks, I just think, oh my goodness. And I thought, oh no, that's coming up for me. That's coming up for me. Don't judge. So it's all interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
If you
interesting.
understand, it's just a projection of your own mind, and you're really
Yeah,
judging yourself because that person is just projecting your own self-concept. Then it becomes ludicrous. Well, I'm judging myself and
mm,
condemning myself here because there isn't really anyone else there. There's just a belief that there's someone
yeah.
else there and a belief in their individual identity.
Instead, yeah. So she's obviously it's a call for love when somebody's so materialistic, isn't it? That's what the course says.
Yeah. A cry for love. And you just,
Yeah,
there's no condemnation. Just see it for what it is. They are
yeah,
confused. They're thinking that somehow this following this path of seeking material
Materialist
things is going to bring
parties.
them happiness.
Yeah, big parties, but all like Hooray Henry parties, all very rich people. Ugh, drinking all the fine champagnes and this and the other. It's like, wow. So it's,
And yet no one knows who they are. Who really knows who they are? Because in those sorts of circles, people usually have a fairly well-defined ego.
But it's interesting because then she did say that when there was a chap they were talking to, and all the people were coming in, and they were all sort of, "Oh, hello, how lovely to see you," and he took the mickey out of them, and then he says, "Right, I'm going to come in the door and see if you do the same with me." And Diana said, "I know." She said, "It's all very false, isn't it?" So it's interesting, even so there was a point there where she'd even noticed that there was all a little bit superficial. Yeah. So
yeah, exactly. Which is what you appear to be in this world. So I can appear to be something. I make myself up, and physically, and then I also act. I behave in certain ways to appear to be something, but actually that's not the case.
Yeah. So
And then, of course, you feel vulnerable because you can be exposed.
yeah. Yeah, because Diana just will not hear of anything like the spiritual world, yoga. I took her once and she was appalled. So, yeah, so that's so I have to just
Because she's decided, her ego has decided this is the way, and she doesn't want to know another way. She's convinced herself that her way is right and you're wrong, and unless there's pain, she's not going to change her mind.
no, she's
It's
got a
only
very luxurious life. They got very
but if that was suddenly that was removed, and she didn't have the money and the luxury, then she might question, and she might, then turn inward. Okay, so happy with number 3.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, so you want to carry on with number 4 then?
Could you yeah, that's it. We are creation, we the sons of God. As the extensions of perfect love, we are the extension. We seem to be discreet and unaware of our eternal unity with him. We seem to be separate and unaware of our eternal unity with it. Yet back of all of our doubts, past all our fears, there still is certainty. Yet behind all our doubts and past all our fears, there is still certainty. For love remains with all its thoughts, its sureness being theirs. For love remains with all its thoughts, its sureness being theirs. For love remains with all its thoughts, its sureness being theirs. God's memory is in all our holy minds, which know their oneness and their unity with their Creator. Perfect.
You still there, Lane?
I did get distracted there before, so I've sort of lost the tail.
Yeah. Okay.
Let our function be only to let this memory return, only to let God's will be done on earth, only to be restored to sanity, and to be put as God created us. Let my function be only to let this memory return, only to let perfect love's awareness come to me and everyone, only to be restored to sanity, and only to be as pure formless awareness if a perfect love extends me. On the top. As the extensions of perfect love, we are the extension. We seem to be separate and unaware of our eternal unity with it. Yet behind all our doubts and past all our fears, there is still certainty. For love remains with all its thoughts, its sureness being theirs. Perfect love's memory is in our minds, which know their oneness and their unity with their source. Let my function be only to let this memory return, only to let perfect love's awareness come to me and everyone, only to be restored to sanity, and only to be as pure formless awareness of perfect love extends me. So it's just saying that we are the extension of this perfect love. We do appear to be separate and unaware of our actual eternal self. But behind all of these doubts and fears, there is still certainty. Her love does remain with all its thoughts, and perfect love's memory is in our pure minds, and the oneness and their unity with their source. So let our love's awareness come to us and be restored to sanity, and to be as pure formless awareness of perfect love extends us.
Yeah. Very simple message, really, which he repeats over and over, but he just uses different language. And love remains with all its thoughts. So this awareness is always there, it's ever present, and it inspires us to think in right-minded ways. So we think, we perceive, and we act, and we speak in right-minded ways. And that's what he's training us to do. To be restored to sanity, as he puts it. And only to be as pure formless awareness of perfect love extends me. So if I'm only going to be that awareness, then there's no need for a body. So okay. Anything else in that paragraph? Any other thoughts, comments, questions?
No, it's good. Our Father calls to us. My source calls to me. We hear his voice and we forgive creation in the name of its creator. Holiness itself, whose holiness his own creation shares, whose holiness is still a part of us. I hear its voice and let go of all blocks to the extension of perfect love in the name of its source, pure formless awareness of perfect love itself, whose pure formless awareness of perfect love its own extension shares, whose pure formless awareness of perfect love is still a part of me and everyone.
Okay. On the top.
My source calls to me. I hear the voice and let go of all blocks to the extension of perfect love in the name of its source, pure formless awareness of perfect love itself, whose pure formless awareness of perfect love its own extension shares, whose pure formless awareness of perfect love is still a part of me and everyone. So it's just saying that the source is calling to us, and we can't hear that voice if we just let go of all the blocks to this extension of perfect love. And we are, it's in all of us, in everyone.
Yeah,
Shares all
exactly.
of us. Yeah.
Mm. It's in everyone, everywhere, without any limit. And our only job is to see that. You know, it's very tempting not to see it, and for that to be obscured. But our task is to see that in the face of the illusions of the world. Okay. Yeah. So any other thoughts?
No, that's clear.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very clear. It's a simple message. Just living it really.
Mm. Yeah.
Each of these inserts and lessons are there to remind you of the truth and help you to live it more fully. Okay, so any other questions, comments on that insert? What is creation?
No, that's clear.
Okay, so what in summarizing, what's creation? If you were going to
Well,
summarize it in a minute.
it's just an extension of this pure, perfect love, and it's for all of us. And and it's there. It's the source is calling to us to extend this eternal, pure, pure formless awareness of perfect love.
Yeah, so creation we use in two senses. The one is the being, so the ultimate being that you are, which is timeless and eternal. The other is the extension of that being, which we call an extension in this world because it looks like that. But actually, we're just part of the same awareness. And when we say we're the extension, we are reuniting our mind with our true awareness or source. Okay, so let's go on to the lesson then. So this is lesson 325. All things I think I see reflect ideas. You can read that in the original and alternative, and then paragraph 1, please.
All things I think I see reflect ideas. Everything I think I see reflects ideas.
Yeah. So thoughts on that? What's he
Um,
saying?
well, it's just what we think we see, we turn them into ideas. But that's, yeah,
All
just
things
the
I think
illusion.
I see reflect ideas. So what he's really saying is that the world outside of us that we think we see with our body's eyes and any perception really is a projection of an idea. It's a projection of an inner idea. So the outer world becomes a mirror of the inner world of ideas. And this is just an explicit statement that acknowledges that relationship. Everything I think I see reflects. Okay, so it's all about ideas. See what Yeshua has to say about it. If you can read paragraph 1 in the original and the alternative line of the line.
This is salvation's keynote. What I see reflects a process in my mind which starts with my idea of what I want. This is awakening's keynote. What I perceive reflects a process in my mind which starts with my idea of what I want. From there, the mind makes up an image of the thing the mind desires, judges valuable, and therefore seeks to find. From there, the mind makes up an image of the thing the mind desires, judges valuable, and therefore seeks to find.
Let's change it to my mind.
Mm-hmm.
My mind. Carry on.
Now, these images are then projected outward, looked upon, esteemed as real, and guarded as one's own. I then project these images outward, see them, and judge them as real. From insane wishes comes an insane world. From insane wishes comes an insane world. From judgment comes a world condemned. From judgment comes a world condemned. And from giving thoughts a gentle world comes forth with mercy for the Holy Son of God, to offer him a kindly home where he can rest a while before he journeys on, and help his brothers walk ahead with him and find the way to heaven and to God. And that from thoughts of letting go comes a gentle world with mercy for the innocent extension of perfect love, to offer me a kind home where I can rest a while before it journeys on, and help my companions walk ahead with me and find the way to the state of pure formless awareness and to perfect love. From the top, this is awakening's keynote. What I perceive reflects a process in my mind which starts with my idea of what I want. From there, my mind makes up an image of the thing my mind desires, judges valuable, and therefore seeks to find. I then project these images outward, see them and judge them as real. From insane wishes comes an insane world. From judgment comes a world condemned. And from thoughts of letting go comes a gentle world with mercy for the innocent extension of perfect love, to offer me a kind home where I can rest a while before its journeys on, and help my companions walk ahead with me and find the way to state of pure formless awareness and to perfect love.
Okay, so summary of that.
Well, it's just what we perceive reflects a process in our minds that starts with an idea. So then our mind makes up an image of things that we desire, that we judge that's valuable, and then we seek to try and find it. And then we project these images outward and judge them as real. So
it's real and valuable. And the whole world works this way. This is so entrenched in the human psyche that most people just take it for granted. That's the way life works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
so it's just a case of letting go, just learning to let go of these, but then the gentle world will be revealed, where we can get a nice kind home. Sounds nice. where we can have a rest. That would be nice.
Yeah, for a while. So, you're saying if you really have truly let go, this world is quite gentle and loving and kind. It's still not your home, but it becomes a lot more tolerable
Happy dream, yeah.
when you're in the enlightened state.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the happy dream.
Yeah.
If you get challenged, as you inevitably will
Mm-hmm.
in this world, in the illusion, then you can see it as just part of the growth of the letting go back to who you really are. So growth is really just letting go of what you're not so that you can become more authentically you. Yeah, any other thoughts on that first one?
That's good. Nice. Nice paragraph. Mm.
And then just a short prayer.
Mm-hmm. Our Father, your ideas reflect the truth, and mine apart from yours, but make up dreams. Our source, your ideas reflect the truth, and mine apart from yours only make up dreams. Let me behold what only yours reflects, for yours and yours alone establish truth. Let me perceive what only yours reflect, for yours and yours alone establish truth. Oh,
Yeah,
want me to read from the top?
yeah,
Our
it's
source,
short, so just read it
yeah.
again.
Our source, your ideas reflect the truth, and mine apart from yours only make up dreams. Let me perceive only what only yours reflect, by yours and yours alone establish truth.
Yeah, so that's just a commitment to say I must hold only to the truth. I mustn't think any false thoughts, entertain illusions. And the way that you maintain that is by letting go of that which you recognize as false and it doesn't serve you.
Mm.
So essentially, he's saying there's one thing you've got to do in this course. There's only one thing through all of the 1,300 pages that he's really asking you to do, and that's to let go of those thoughts and emotions that you recognize don't serve you. Those are the negative ones that negate your true essence, your being, who you really are. So let go of all of that. Strip away all of your illusions. Stand naked in the light of truth. Completely vulnerable in that state, but completely loved. So when they say, you need to be vulnerable, that doesn't mean that you now think that you're fearful. You're not fearing anything in the dream. You've just opened yourself up to the spirit entirely. You've surrendered completely. And so you're very naturally very, very connected and very open to the spirit and its ways in the world. All right. So very nice lesson. So we could do a meditation now
Mm-hmm.
if you want, or we could go into the reading from the psychotherapy manual, which is 4 paragraphs, I believe, and then finish with a meditation.
Okay then, yeah.
Yeah. So you want to go
Yeah,
straight into the
yeah. Just if
to
you
the
give me a
psychotherapy.
minute there, because I've just got to get something out of the thing there. So just give it just be a moment.
Yeah, okay, no problem. I'll take 2 minutes, go get myself some tea. So see you in two. Okay, Len, are you there?
Sorry, yep. Wait, yep, I'm here.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, okay. So
Mm-hmm.
should we go into
Yes.
let's have a look at the psychotherapy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so start recording again. Okay, so I want to look at so again we're continuing on with the psychotherapy purpose process and practice um, supplement to A Course in Miracles, and this one is called the practice of psychotherapy. So section 3.1, and it's on
Mm-hmm.
the selection of patients. How do you actually select patients? So let's see what Yeshua has to say about that. So we read the
Mm-hmm.
and just translate as we go. So
Right.
substitute God, pure formless
Yeah.
awareness of perfect love. Or if it's a possessive, like in
Mm-hmm.
God's plan, then usually just drop the pure formless awareness and just say perfect love's plan.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Everyone who is sent to you is a patient of yours. This does not mean that you select him, nor that you choose the kind of treatment that is suitable, but it does mean that no one comes to you by mistake. There are no errors in perfect love's plan. It would be an error, however, to assume that you know what to offer everyone who comes. This is not up to you to decide. There is a tendency to assume that you are being called on constantly to make sacrifices of yourself for those who come. This could hardly be true. To demand sacrifice of yourself is to demand a sacrifice of perfect love. And it knows nothing of sacrifice. Who could ask of perfection that it be imperfect? So what it's saying,
Yeah.
well,
Mm-hmm.
everybody is sent to me or us for well, for it's perfect love's plan. It's a yeah, um, but there's no demand of sacrifice for us at all, because then that would be saying that there's a demand of sacrifice on perfect love, and saying that it knows nothing of sacrifice. I mean, it knows nothing of sacrifice. So why would we think it's a sacrifice to us? So, he is perfect, and so therefore we are.
Yeah. There are no errors. He's
No,
saying nothing happens by accident. It's all part of a plan, but you can't necessarily know what that plan is yourself. Assume that you know what to offer everyone who comes, because you don't. You know, of yourself, your ego mind doesn't know, but your Holy Spirit does. So it's about handing it over to spirits and saying, okay, well, you tell me, you show me what's needed.
Mm.
And that's the surrendered or guided life. And a much easier way of living because you don't have a constant judgment and control and criticism, which is insane. It's like, well, I
Mm.
don't know, but I will be told. I will receive guidance as to what to do, where to go, and you wait for the moment. I mean, I'll give you a good example. Me coming back to
Mhm.
South Africa, I didn't know, and I kind of something in me was saying, well, don't jump in and organize another place and get a room or whatever in England in
Mhm.
January. And, rationally
Mm.
you're going, well, hang on, there's only like a couple of days to go. Because it's something was saying, well, no, you're going to go, and you sort of, knew that, but not consciously. It's just okay, we'll just
Mm.
leave it, and then suddenly you just get a guidance. It's like, okay, now 2 days before, I did need to make a decision. It was like,
Mm.
okay, 3 days, it's like, okay, so now then the decision's made, and it can be very quick. So okay, decision made, done.
Mm.
But actually, you were guided all along to make that decision. You just didn't always know it.
Mm.
So it's about listening to that sometimes quite subtle inner voice and just
Mm.
trusting it to guide you
Mm.
step by step on your atonement path,
Mm.
and that anyone who comes to you for teaching or healing is then going to get the benefit of that. You will be shown exactly what they need. When Yeshua is always a good example. How did he know so uncannily what everyone needed? He was guided. He just tapped in, and there would have been an internal knowing. Okay, so this person, this is where they're at. This is their rod to bear. This is what they require. And then in the moment, he gave it freely and generously. Okay, well, I can heal you, or I can comfort you. Or sometimes he didn't heal. Interesting. So some of his disciples weren't healed, and they wondered why. It's like, well, because that wasn't what was going to grow them. So it was very individualized, and the Holy Spirit knows. All right. So any other thoughts on number one? It's fairly clear.
No?
Surrender,
Mhm.
be guided,
Yeah.
and it's not up to you to decide who's going to come and what to offer them, because each person is.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
number two, then we'll move on to that.
Yeah. Who then decides which brother needs? Surely not you. You do
What
not.
each brother needs. Who then decides what each brother needs?
Oh, okay.
Each companion needs.
Each companion, yeah. Surely not you, who do not yet recognize who he is, who asks. There is something in him or it that will tell you if you listen. And that is the answer. Listen. Do not demand, do not decide, do not sacrifice. Listen. What you hear is true. Would perfect love send its extension to you and not be sure you recognize its needs, his needs? It, it, or his, not sure. Think what
Um,
perfect, it's just there, recognize his needs. Is
yeah,
that it? It is his needs, not its. because it's not a capital
Yeah,
H.
so it's referring to a person. So we translate it as their needs
Oh,
because then
right.
it's plural. Their needs
Yeah. Uh-huh.
in the plural it avoids the his hers thing
Yeah.
split.
So think what perfect love is telling you. It needs your voice to speak for them. No, him. I'm getting mixed up here. For him, for it. He needs your voice. I'm getting a
Yeah,
bit. He needs
yeah.
your voice to speak for
For
it.
him is it. Capital is always it.
Is in it. Yeah.
Him
Okay.
or his is it. It's
Yeah.
but then small he's referring to the Son of God,
Yeah.
and you
So
can
then that
refer
would
to the
just
Son of God not as him but as them,
is them.
because there's
Yeah.
one
Right.
Son of God that appears as many.
Yeah. Could anything be holier or innocence? Could anything be anyway? Or a greater
Yeah.
gift? Could anything
Could
be?
anything be more innocent or purer might be better actually.
Yeah. Could anything be more purer or a greater gift to you? Would you rather choose who would be perfect love or hear the voice of it who is perfect love in you?
All right. Read it from the top and see if you can get the translations right. In some ways, this is good because it's actually making you stretch a bit, isn't
Yeah. Who then decides which companion needs? Surely not you, who do not yet recognize who he is who asks. There is something in them and will tell you if you listen. And that is the answer. Listen, do not demand, do not decide, do not sacrifice. Listen, what you hear is true. Would perfect love send its extension to you and not be sure you recognize their needs?
it? Mm.
Think what perfect love is telling you. It needs your voice to speak for him. It.
It. Mm.
Could anything be more purer or a
Just
greater
purer.
gift?
You wouldn't say more pure, just pure
Okay, yeah. Could anything
or
be
more
purer?
innocent.
Yeah,
Pure, I think, is nice there. Yeah.
yeah. Or a greater gift to you? Would you rather choose who would be perfect love or hear the voice of it who is perfect love in you? Right.
Okay. So saying that.
So it's just saying rather than looking at this as a demand and a sacrifice, just listen to the answer that comes from your perfect love and it'll speak to you. And there's nothing purer. So it's a great gift. So which would you prefer to choose? Perfect love's
Mm.
voice or separate selves?
Yeah. Would you rather choose who would be God or hear the voice? So the God is whatever you believe in. So you place your faith in other things other than pure formless awareness of perfect love, and you deny the voice of this awareness because you split your mind. Again, a conversation recently with another guy who was determinedly saying, no, well, the pure non-dual stuff is kind of kids stuff. Actually, where it's at is you've got to integrate into the illusion. Going, no, that's actually all upside down. That's kids stuff. And
To be
going
honest,
into pure formless awareness, perfect love is
well,
is
he's
is where you.
talking. Yeah, but duality, it's either pain, love. It's just one or the other, isn't it? It's like a roller coaster. So that's more like the kid
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, the problem with that reconciling approach is that it doesn't work. If you try and reconcile perfect love with this world, you're always going to fail because you can't. Because
Mm.
this world is not made out of perfect love, and there's so much pain and suffering and
Like
sickness and
roller
death as a
coaster.
result.
My
And it's an
experience.
up and down, it's a roller
Yeah,
coaster.
roller.
So
It is.
how do you
That's my.
reconcile that with an absolute, eternal, infinite love that never changes? You
Mm,
can't. Try as you might. And so this is all Yeshua's telling us. He's saying, look, I'll just tell it to you straight. You will never, ever succeed at that. You've been trying lifetime after lifetime, and you're
hmm
so stubbornly persistent in trying it. And just listen to me. I'm telling you. It's what it says, listen up. Yeah,
Yeah.
listen. What you hear is true. Pay attention here. Because I'm
Mm,
telling you that this is true, that what you're hearing here is the absolute truth.
mm.
Choose to deny it, you just perpetuate your suffering. You'll just carry on trying
It makes
endlessly,
sense.
trying to
Yeah.
reconcile the illusion and the truth, and you'll never succeed, and you'll never find authentic happiness and peace and love and joy, because how can you if your mind is split
Mm.
and
Yeah,
you've
no, it
got these
makes.
two alternative voices and both seem to be real? You
Mm.
just can't ever reconcile them.
Yeah, well, I've tried that roller coaster life for 60 years, and yeah, you get fed up with it. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just in the end, that's what will awaken anyone. It's just enough. I can't, my
Mm.
tolerance for pain is so high, but no high. I can't handle it anymore. So I have to find a better way.
Just peace. You
Or
just
I,
all
you know,
peace.
or
Mm.
I sort of kill myself. That's often people reach this kind of suicidal
Mm.
state, and then they're
So
either going
fed
to
up with
do
it
it,
all. Mm.
or they're going to say, okay, I've got to change. I've got to change the way I think. I've got to see it differently. And that's when a spiritual teaching like this can be accepted because they are ready for it. But if they think they're okay in the illusion, they sort of
Like
doing
this
all
is.
right, although it may not be that great, they kind of swim along and there's no major difficulty or trauma, then it's very difficult to get them to accept a teaching like this.
Yeah, because I did see on a YouTube, there were a young man was asking people in their 60s, 70s, 80s, what would you tell your younger self? And they were all still in the illusion. I would make sure I
Mm,
stuck in and had my education and I wouldn't have got married so
mm.
young. They was just saying all of those things, and I just didn't find it inspiring at all. Listening to,
Yeah. So
what
in other
they,
words, you're going to rearrange the furniture on the sinking
yeah,
ship.
yeah. And I
And
just thought it'd
well,
be
it would have been
interesting.
better if I'd done that, but actually, not looking at the whole of your life and going,
Yeah.
but it's a sinking ship. Ultimately, I'm going to die. So, what is it really all about? Rather
Hmm.
just trying to rearrange the
But
furniture
no, I
and make
didn't
it,
find it inspiring. Yeah.
yeah,
And they all
because
seem
most
to.
people are, they're still asleep and they don't know that there's something else. So they look for comfort to the level of form, even if it's in the past. Well, I could have done that, and then my life would have been better.
Hmm.
And actually, it wouldn't have been significantly. They still would have had their challenges, and they would
Hmm.
still be facing, as they get older, that, well, inevitably I'm going to die,
Hmm.
whatever way you take. And Yeshua says this is whichever way you take. You might travel gaily on some for a while, it seems to be okay. And then others, the difficulty starts straight away, and the thorns and the rocks and the pain and the suffering are there from the beginning. But in the end, they all lead to the same outcome in the dream world. You identify with that your character is going to suffer and die. And
Yeah.
he's just asking us to be very honest with about that, because that honesty then awakens you to the truth that, okay, well then, if that is so, if it's so clearly, this world is so clearly that, and is not the reality I want, then I'm willing to embrace what what the truth is.
Mm.
Okay. So,
And some people can sort of get to these ages and not have, they've had it fairly sort of stable. You know, they've have brought children up and they've all done well and got their education.
mm,
So, yeah, so that that's why they're still happy being in the illusion, because their 70 odd years that have been on the planet have actually gone okay in the world of illusions. So they're happy enough to
yeah, they
stick.
didn't have enough tests. If
No,
you really want to
you
grow
can.
in life, you want a testing life. You want a challenging life. You don't want a
Mm,
cushy, oh, well, it's all just nice in the illusion life, because that's not going to make you awaken.
mm,
So the advanced souls who want to awaken come in and they choose a difficult path. It's tough and it's difficult and there's challenges, because that getting through those challenges is what's going to awaken.
mm,
Not, easy, cushy. That's why, the Buddha is a great example. He had the most cushy life you could have at that time, probably anywhere in
mm.
the world. Born a prince, silver spoon in his mouth, everything was given to him. He was being groomed to be the king. His marriage was arranged. He had servants. He didn't have to work. He didn't have to lift a finger. Everything was done for him.
Mm.
Very cushy life. Some people say, oh, that'd be amazing. And yet he was dissatisfied.
Mm.
Something in him said, this isn't satisfying my soul. And when he left, and he left the confines of the palace, and he went outside into the town, and he saw sickness and suffering and death. Then he was shocked to the core. He's like, well, I've been living in a fool's paradise here, clearly,
Mm.
because I didn't know about any of this stuff. And actually, it's going on all the time, just outside the walls. So this, what I'm living is an illusion. It's not reality. And he couldn't then have but help to leave. He had to leave. He couldn't live there anymore, because
Mm.
he realized how fake it was.
Mm.
All right. So
Yeah,
shall we go
number
on to number 3? 4 paragraphs to do today.
three. Your patients need not be physically present for you to serve them in the name of perfect love. This may be hard to remember, but perfect love will not have its gifts to you limited to the few you actually see. You can see others as well, for seeing is not limited to the body's eyes. Some do not need your physical presence. They need you as much and perhaps even more at the instant they are sent. You will recognize them in whatever way can be most helpful to both of you. Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat. It does not matter how they come. They will be sent in whatever form is most helpful. A name, a thought, a picture, an idea, or perhaps just a feeling of reaching out to someone somewhere. The joining is in the hands of the Holy Spirit. I can't. Oops.
Remember
Oops.
what the Holy Spirit
I do, but I've gone blank. What is it?
is?
God,
I've
awareness,
forgotten.
awakening.
Remembrance. It's the
Oh,
remembrance.
oh, the remembrance of perfect love. Yes, yeah,
Hmm.
the remembrance of perfect love. It cannot fail to be accomplished.
Oh, so read it from the top again, the translated version.
Yeah, your patients need not be physically present for you to serve in the name of perfect love. This may be hard to remember, but perfect love will not
To
have
change the name. Do you remember what we changed the name to?
name, the identity.
Yeah. Ah, well done, Elaine. That's a good one. Very good.
Yeah,
Identity of perfect love. So you
yeah,
identify with perfect love and you serve them in that identity as the teacher of perfect love, by
yeah.
example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this may be hard to remember, but perfect love will not have its gifts to you limited to the few you actually see. You can see others as well, for seeing is not limited to the body's eyes. Some do not need your physical presence. They need you as much and perhaps even more at the instant they are sent. You will recognize them in whatever way can be most helpful to both of you. It does not matter how they come. They will be sent in whatever form is most helpful. An identity, or well, a name really in this instance, a thought, a picture, an idea, or perhaps just a feeling of reaching out to someone somewhere. The joining is in the hands of the remembrance of perfect love. It cannot fail to be accomplished.
Okay, what's he saying in that one?
Where they're saying the patients don't need to be in our physical presence to serve the identity of perfect love. This can be hard to remember, but the perfect love will not have its gifts limited to just a few. So well, the saying will recognize this when it's most helpful to both of you. It's not mattering how it comes, the joining in the remembrance of perfect love. Well, it's not needing either your physical, it could be your physical presence or not. It doesn't matter. We extend this to the patient, joining in this remembrance of perfect love. And in this case, it's not going to fail to be accomplished. So I know I'm going all around, making it a bit sort of long-winded
Well, the
there.
gift, I think the issue, the key point here is that these gifts will come in many ways.
Yeah.
That you'll get guidance in many ways. It can be a word, a feeling, a thought. It can come as a picture. It can come as a
Phone
book.
call.
It can come
Phone call. Anything.
phone call. We've got there's all these communication channels. So there's many ways that guidance can come. And you just got to pay attention. Today I was, walking through the airport, and I just sort of had a thought of like, and there was some cops and stuff, and I was just like, well, bless you all, and and then immediately as I said that, this I caught a glimpse of this article that this guy was reading in a paper, which said that, the miracle of South Africa lies in its hope. I just got the headline, that quick, literally 1 second, just take it in, and I walked on. But I clocked it, and I was like, okay, well, there's the message. I sent out a blessing, and immediately I get one back because I see,
Right.
the miracle in hope. And don't forget that, because it can be easy in a place that's so dysfunctional to forget the truth and, go into it's all doom and gloom and it's all a mess and whatever. And it's like, actually, there's a message to set the tone for my whole trip. And that's, just happened instantaneously. I sent out a blessing and almost immediately walk past, see the headline of the article, clock it, register, think about it for maybe a few seconds. And, it's all that guidance has taken no more than maybe 10, 20 seconds to happen, but it's meaningful. So this, paying attention to these subtle signs.
Yeah.
is important,
Right. Mm.
and opening the channels to the Holy Spirit also important. So, if you close down, what people start to do when they get depressed, they shut down.
Mm. Yeah, they don't see any of it. Yeah, the miracles.
No, they're not open then to the guidance and the gift. So the Holy Spirit's constantly trying to knock on their door, but they're not aware. They're not listening.
Mm.
You're distracted with their own thoughts. And if they just have a little willingness to listen, then it will
Mm.
start to work for them, and they will get guidance because it's always been there. Just it can't penetrate
Mm-hmm.
through all of the noise that the ego's created. Okay, so very positive paragraph saying the gifts are there, and the Holy Spirit, remembers perfect love, will guide you as to how to use them and how to join with someone. There's a
Mm.
genuine joining and a connection. And, that's going to look different in different situations. No one size fits all. What's beautiful about watching The Chosen is it demonstrates that quite well.
Mm.
Just how flexible and in flow Yeshua was, because there was no one size fits all. It was very much individualized, case by case basis of who needed what. All right, so
Right. Next one.
yeah, next one, number 4.
A holy therapist. Oh, no, not holy. Remember, holy. An
Hmm.
awakened.
Holy
Awakened.
therapist. Well, holy is either innocent or pure. We translate it as. So I think in this
Pure,
context, pure therapist.
a pure therapist, an advanced teacher of perfect love, never forgets one thing. He did not make the curriculum of awakening,
Hmm.
nor did he establish his part in it. He understands that his part is necessary to the whole, and that through it he will recognize the whole when his part is complete. Meanwhile, he must learn, and his patients are the means sent to him for his learning. What would he be but grateful for them and to them? They are bearing perfect love. Would he refuse this gift for a pebble who would be close the door on the Saviour of the world to let in a ghost? Let him not betray the perfect, the remembrance of perfect love. No, the extension of perfect love.
Tension. Yeah. Good. Yeah. All that.
Extension of perfect love. Who calls on him is far beyond his understanding. Yet would he not rejoice that he can answer, when only thus will he be able to hear all the call and understanding that it is his. Right, so what it's saying, well, with the pure therapist, who is the advanced teacher of perfect love, never forgets one thing. He understands his part is necessary to the whole. So he will then recognize the whole when his part is complete. But in the meantime, he must learn, and his patients are the means sent to him for his learning.
Yeah.
So when they're saying the patient, does that mean, like, for example, I'm your patient because you're teaching me?
Yeah.
Is that what it
Teacher,
means?
you're always learning first, student first, and teacher second,
Yeah, because it's not literally
pretty much.
meaning us all being in a psychiatry situation. We're not, the patient isn't actually, it's just the student it's meaning, isn't
No,
it?
yeah, it's anyone who comes into your experience, you interact with, who you can help. So that could be, Sally,
Yeah,
your
yeah,
friend,
yeah.
is your patient.
Yes,
That's a
right.
that's a good example. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah,
Unwittingly so. Neither of you signed up to any kind of service, but she would be a patient in
yeah,
this in
got you.
this.
Yeah, this
Okay.
situation, yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm obviously
yeah,
the teacher. Yeah, yeah. Right. Yeah.
exactly.
So, yeah, something about the ghost there. What's that about the ghost? Refuse the gift for a pebble, or would we? Oh, well, yes. So we're just saying, do we really want to refuse this gift for a little trinket or pebble that will close the door on our opportunity to see the true self? And what's that about the ghost? The world to let in a ghost.
Yeah, to let in a ghost. So the ghost is the unreal phantom of the ego, phantom identity
Mm,
that betrays us because it's not real. Just a false construct of the mind.
yeah.
Calls on him is far beyond his understanding. So we don't have to fully get it. We just have to be willing to listen and be
Mm,
guided moment by moment. That's all. And
yeah.
that's the way Yeshua operated when he did his miracles. He wasn't in the past or the future, and he wasn't concerned about what people thought. It was just, okay, I'm here now. This
Mm,
is the situation. Someone comes. What would love do? All right. So,
mhm.
any other thoughts on that paragraph?
No, it's, yeah.
If you're going to
Good.
summarize it, I mean, what's he saying in a nutshell about the selection of patients?
Um, well, where do I start? Well, I know it's simplistic. It's, well,
Oh, just the overall, what's the
right.
overall key message, really?
Well,
Um,
the
Selection of
patient
patients.
can be sent to you in any form. Well, not form. It could be, as you say, from a message, phone call. We can get these situations that they come to us to teach this perfect love and what it can, all its gifts. Uh, so it's been selected for us to awaken to our true self, our pure formless awareness of perfect love. So there's
Hmm.
nothing purer, nothing, more perfect than this eternal situation where the patient is there for us, and we're
Yeah.
there for them to find this perfect love.
Yeah. Well said. So they will come when they're meant to come, when the student is ready, the teacher appears, idea. Um, and and then what is needed will be guided. Whatever you need to know and to do as a teacher will be completely guided. I think that's the key again. It's a call to guidance. Just give it all over to the Holy Spirit, the moments of perfect love and trust. It will select the patience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very nice. Practice,
Yeah,
practice.
yeah. And then I think recognizing in each encounter, there's there's this healing going on, even if it's a minor encounter with someone for a few minutes. Could be a yeah, like I had a couple at the airports and stuff. This one guy
Mm.
was really happy. He said, "Oh, and he was so smiley and just said
Mm.
happy Christmas and happy New Year." Well, Christmas is
Mm.
long gone. He was
Yeah, just in a good frame. Yeah, he was in
happy
good
New Year and
state.
he beams, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's what it's really all about."
Yeah, yeah. He's found his true self, or was it maybe
Mm.
he's just had a beer? Yeah, laughing aside. Yeah, but yeah, no, it is nice to see
Yeah.
people like that. Of course.
Yeah, I know. I mean, he was an attendant. He's a pretty kind of menial job. He's cleaning,
Oh, yeah.
bathroom toilets
Right.
and
Well,
stuff.
so he certainly wouldn't have had a beer
Uh,
then. Yeah.
no, 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 I wouldn't think so on duty.
No, no.
And
Yeah.
so, but he was just like really,
It was.
happy,
Yeah. Just
smiley,
joyful.
and yeah, and you don't. I mean, you'd think if you're doing a job like that, you could get very kind of depressed and like, well, what's this all
Mm.
about? And wasting my time
Yeah.
here.
But
But
he's
he just
obviously connected.
felt the joy and he took the time to connect with me. And so that, it's a little holy instant that's in that
They're a
moment.
pleasure to meet
Not any
those
long
people.
term, not any long term thing going
Mm.
on. But in that moment, it's a holy instant. That's healing for both people because in that
Mm.
moment we felt one.
Yes. It's lovely. Yeah. Yeah, no, I've met people like that and they're just so uplifting. They're the teacher to me. It's a sort of,
Mm,
get out of yourself because you can see that, as you say, they've got maybe what a job that you wouldn't want to do, like toilet cleaning and what have you. But yeah, they're so enjoy. So it's
mm,
an inspiration. Yeah.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Martha, there's a good story of Martha and Mary, I think, it's in the Bible. Yeshua was coming to the end of his time. He was about to go to Jerusalem.
Mm.
It was Mary, I think. Mary brought some very expensive perfume that
Mm.
they had, and she anointed Jesus's feet, Yeshua's feet, with it. And
Mm.
her sister, who'd been kind of working in the kitchen, it sounds like very busy with chores and the type, like always told her off and said, "Why are you wasting this, really expensive perfume?"
Mm.
Um, because that could have been sold for however much, and then the disciples chipped in. They said, "Well, yeah, we could have used the money then for you know giving alms to the poor or whatever." So
Food and stuff. Yeah. Mm.
yeah, but Yeshua corrected them. He said, "No, that was a beautiful gesture that she did. She realized on some level that this was probably her last time seeing him, and she did it as a gesture of kindness and gratitude and
Mm.
devotion to this great teacher. Um, yes, he was worthy of this expensive perfume,
Mm.
and somehow she knew she wouldn't be with him. They wouldn't have him for very much longer, and so and that's gone down now recorded in history. And
Mm.
so that was for that time that was appropriate. At another time,
Yeah.
Yeshua might have said, "No, you don't need to do that." But for that
Mm.
time, it was perfect. And so
Yeah.
it's all about the timing and listening to the guidance of the Holy
Of
Spirit,
course. Yeah.
for that timing.
Yeah.
And the reason why Yeshua was such a master was he had his timing perfect. He knew exactly what was needed for everyone and when it was needed. Okay, so good message about again letting go, surrendering to the flow, allowing both the patience and the intervention that you give them to be totally guided by the Holy Spirit.
Mm.
All right. So that's the psychotherapy
Yeah,
section done.
very good.
Should we finish off with a meditation?
Yeah, yeah. That'd be good. Thanks.
Good.
Yeah, just mute.
All right. Yeah. Go on mute. So I'll do a half an hour med to finish off. So this is a meditation on today's lesson 325. So just making yourself comfortable, sitting comfy with your feet shoulder width apart, your back straight, you cup your hands in your lap, close your eyes. Breathing in, nice deep full inhale breath, clench the sphincter muscle to lock the energy in. Draw the energy up your spine, feel this warm tingling wave of energy rising up with the breath into your heart center. One hand on your heart to connect with your heart space. Nice full deep maximal inhale breath. I'll pause and hold the breath at the top. Remind yourself that all things I think I see reflect ideas, or if you prefer the alternative, everything I think I see reflects ideas. So look within, scan your mind, notice any thoughts, emotions, perceptions, and recognize that everything that you perceive, just an idea in your mind, just a concept. Everything I think I see reflects ideas. Come into this whole awareness. Now breathing in, going to top yourself up. So let's listen to my words. So I'm just going to read the words. So as I read them, you breathe in. When I pause, then it's time for you to exhale. Exhale and blow it out. So this is awakening's keynote, says Yeshua. This is awakening's keynote. What I perceive reflects a process in my mind. Starts with my idea of what I want. And so just reflect on that. Breathing in again. From there, my mind makes up an image of the thing my mind desires, judges valuable. Breathing in again. I then project these images outwards, see them and judge them as real. So it's talking about the projection perception mechanism here. Exhale, the truth of this. Breathing in again. From insane wishes comes an insane will. From insane wishes comes an insane world. Remind yourself of that as you breathe in. Every pore, every cell, every muscle of your body, every part of your mind. From judgment comes a world condemned. From judgment comes a world condemned. And from thoughts of letting go, from thoughts of letting go comes a gentle world. Mercy for the innocent extension of perfect love. Breathe that innocence into every pore, every cell, the body, every part of your mind, every fiber of your being. So offer me a mercy for the innocent extension of perfect love, to offer me a kind home where I can rest a while before I journey on. And I help my companions walk ahead with me, find a way to the state, find the way to the state of pure formless awareness into perfect love. So, final prayer, say, my source. So you breathe in the source of perfect love into every pore, every cell, every muscle of your body, every part of your mind, every fiber of your being. Say, my source. Your ideas reflect the truth. Your ideas reflect the truth. And mine, apart from yours, only make up dreams. Let me perceive what only yours reflect. For yours and yours alone establish truth. So this is a commitment to hold on to only positive thoughts. Blow it all away with the breeze of your breath. It's going, gone. To the nothingness that it really is. So there's nowhere else to go, nothing else to do, nothing else to think about. Just sink inwards to the source, the truth, the life that is within you. Any thoughts arise, you're just going to let them go. Exhale, blow them away. So they're like dark clouds leaving you. Reminding yourself that everything I think of reflects ideas. So if I'm perceiving something that's dark, fearful, it's just a reflection of my own idea about it. Just breathing and observing the breath, letting the breath take you deeper and deeper with each breath. Sinking inwards to the kingdom of heaven, state of pure formless awareness within you that is sinking inwards, going deeper and deeper to the stillness and the silence that is the kingdom of heaven, the state of pure formless awareness, perfect love. For another couple of minutes of deep, peaceful silence. So just gently coming back now to this state of deep awareness. From this state of deep awareness into awareness of your body and your breath, senses and the world. And on the count of three, you're going to open your eyes. So one, just breathing in. Noticing how the stomach rises and the chest rises. Subtle flow there in through the nostrils. Just pausing at the top of the inhale. Just check in, scan your mind. Just noticing any thoughts, emotions, related body sensations going on. Particularly anything that feels at all like negative, limiting, contracted, constricting in any way. Breathe into that. Remind yourself everything I think I see just reflects ideas in my mind. And so I can let go of those ideas. It's as simple as that. They're just ideas. Drop the idea. So down to one, just breathing in, noticing how the stomach rises and chest rises, subtle flow of air through the nostrils. Pausing at the top of the inhale, you smile, scan your mind once more. Noticing thoughts, emotions, related body sensations going on, particularly anything that feels negative, limiting, contracted, constricting. You exhale, just blow it out. And scan your mind if there's any thoughts, emotions that don't belong there that seem to be negating your state of pure formless awareness, perfect love. Just recognize and blow them away with the breeze of your breath as unwanted ideas. Exhale, blow them out, letting them all go, gone. All the stomach into the spine, expel the last remaining air out. And just rest. A few moments in stillness, notice the gap between breaths. And that gap lies stillness and peace, happiness and joy. So experience that briefly. Count of two. Breathing in again, so notice the weight of your body pressing down, chair or couch, feet touching the ground. Noticing what you're feeling and touching. So notice as you breathe in, sense of the air flowing into your nostrils, the chest and the stomach. Blow up. There's the subtle flow of air into your nostrils. Notice any smell in your nose as you breathe in, a taste in your mouth perhaps. Notice what you're hearing in the surrounding environment without any judgment. It's just pure observation, pure witnessing. So just anchor this pure witnessing state into your awareness. There's no judgment of others, no judgment of so no judgment at all, just pure formless awareness of perfect love. So set the intention to stay rooted in this awareness. Use today's lesson to top you up if you need to this evening. So now on the count of three, you're going to open your eyes. Just look around, taking a few moments just to orient yourself back into the dream world, noticing what's going on around you. In this very quiet, calm way. There's no illusions going on. No illusions going on, just the truth. It's pure formless awareness, perfect love that's in you, always been in you, still there. Notice it underlying every sense perception of yours. So whether you look at some of your eyes open, your eyes closed, it's the same awareness. Try that for a few different objects and notice that nothing really changes whether your eyes are open or closed, irrespective of which object you're looking at, or even a person, the same awareness. Just peaceful, calm, unchanging and unchangeable. And you start to understand who you really are. You are that unchanging, unchangeable nature. So anchor the state in of just pure awareness, very peaceful, very calm, very loving. Set the intention to stay there for the rest of the evening, afternoon and evening, and on into tomorrow. And use today's lesson to top you up if you need to just reconnect. Listen to the short breath break I've sent you for today or the longer meditation. So that brings us to the end of the meditation and of the session. So,
Yeah, that was great. Thank you. Always
yeah,
good.
thanks for that. Yeah, I was tired, but I just kind of went with it in a meditative state. So
Got a second.
apologies for there were some long pauses, but I guess that's all part of
No,
the
no, it's very, yeah, beneficial as always. Yeah. Thank you.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow's Thursday. I think let's do an evening session.
Yeah, I was
That's
going to say
okay.
that would be better for me. Yeah, because I've got a few
Yeah,
things on there. Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
What time's good for you? Because I
Um,
know it's different hours there, isn't it now?
yeah, it's 2 hours ahead, so 6 o'clock. Yeah, should work.
Yeah,
If it
6 or 5.
starts 8, yeah,
Is that
yeah.
up to you?
Um,
Maybe 5 if it's better for
let
you.
me just
You can always
yeah.
post it on the
Let me just
Telegram, can't
confirm.
you?
I want to. Yeah, I will. I want to go to yoga. Where I haven't been
Oh,
able
right.
to do exercise for ages. So
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
hot yoga here. So just,
Oh,
but yeah, let's do either 5 or 6 tomorrow. I'll
yeah.
put it
I'll
on the
just
Telegram.
look out. Yeah, I'll look out. Yeah,
All right.
that's great. Well, enjoy your trip.
Okay. Thanks, Elaine.
With your family.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay. Namaste.
All right.
Bye.
Safe.
Bye.
Bye for now. All right. So that's a wrap for today. Thank you to Elaine for joining as always, leading to the session. And if you would like to join us in these sessions, you're welcome to join me in a free masterclass that I'm running this Sunday from 6 p.m. UK time, 8 p.m. SA time. Go to theaolg.com to register, find out more and register. It's a free masterclass. And you can also access some of the material I sent you up front to Telegram every day. Go to lifeball.com to subscribe to that. And finally, if you're not already a subscriber to the channel and you like this video and you'd like to be notified whenever I go live, which is 6 days a week, then hit the subscribe button and be subscribed. So thank you for watching or listening, and hope to catch you on the inside soon. Namaste, which means the true self in me acknowledges and honors that same true self in you.